This is Satya Pradyuman of Cirrus Research. The latest issue of Regional Outliers just out. This is our global look at cross-market sector fundamentals. The title of this report, Commodities and Crowding Point to Earnings-Driven Market. There are a couple of key themes in this quarter's issue. One is this idea that what we've begun to notice is this pickup in global commodity pricing. That has a lot of implications really for a number of areas, but most notably the materials sector. And then part two, we've begun to notice real crowding concerns in the US. This is a big deal because clearly, the technology vertical has really driven global markets here. So this is really important. Both of these elements, though, are concerns, and effectively they are driving us to a more of an earnings-driven, valuation-sensitive market. Let's go through the details. What you're looking at here is a combination of earnings forecast for the global materials sector. And what you've noticed is in the last, let's say, 2 or 3 quarters, these forward estimates have begun to really come down. And what's interesting is this is very counter to what we're witnessing in terms of global commodity prices. So this sort of like divergence, I think, is very constructive for the material sector, but it also has some major valuation risk for overall markets. After all, if commodities are on the run, inflation data probably starts to pick up. So we're definitely watching this space. Part two, as I've said, the US markets have driven global returns. In fact, the technology sectors that have driven US markets have driven global gains. What we're finally noticing is a crowding within the US leadership basket. Effectively, the tech stocks that have run, those multiples are now quite excessive. The forward read on this model is when it signals when it's in the red territory, effectively trending factors break down, valuations are supportive, and higher quality do better. So what that's telling us is that there is more of a fundamental rotation here if this model is right about crowding risk. And then finally, we flagged in our recent global positioning report the sort of improvement we've been seeing on the margin within the Chinese equity market. In other words, we've seen revenue growth rates that had been fading for the last few years starting to revive. So slight pickup. In this issue, we went a little deeper to figure out, what was the sourcing of this? Where is this coming from? And what we did was we looked at the overall markets. And what you'll see here is that both the financials and the technology sectors are really where we're seeing the sort of forward estimates accelerate. And bear in mind, we're not out of the woods here with China, as you'll see. Consumer services and telecom, those forwards continue to really plummet. So overall, marginal changes going on in Asia, and definitely if you've been very underweight China, at this point the question is, should you remain underweight? I think there's still enough fundamental concerns here, but this is, I think, an important data point. With any questions, feel free to reach out to us. Thank you.